Hello and welcome back to Vooperia Development. Now you may be asking, why has it been so long? Well, finals and stuff, so I've been kind of struggling to have time to do this, and I actually wouldn't be streaming right now if it wasn't so mind-numbingly boring that it makes me want to smack my head into my desk, because right now there's so much rewriting of things I've already done. It's more fun when you guys are here. Woo! Maybe a potato will show up. That'd make me happy. Hey guys, how's it going? So what we're doing today is we're making this game go from better than other games' terrain systems to way better than other games' terrain systems. Because I have to, inherently, I have to continually one-up over and over and over to ensure that this game will be the greatest. Oh wow, I can actually, that's interesting. I just got curious if I could plug a normal thumb drive into my port for my Vive. Looks like that works completely fine, huh? Wow, that's interesting. So, before we start, I'd rather you guys actually understand what I'm trying to do. So, we're going to go to our most professional sketching software. One, I'm gonna have Aaron do this for me. We're gonna grab our brush, and we're going to sketch it out. So, let's say we've got a hill here. A very, very nice hill. Look at that, I'm working with watercolors. Be proud of me, I am so artistic. Let's say that you're doing that, and let's change to a non-watercolor because that's a lot of work. And I want to place a block, right here. Well, currently the game will say, well, technically, this block is in the same part as this terrain. So the game will go, well, two things can't be in the same place in an array. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of that entire thing of terrain to make space for the block. And then we're gonna put the block there. But with the marching cubes algorithm, this causes it to do this, where it causes a hole, and then there's the block, and then there's like this gap here, which is absolutely disgusting, and there's this gap here, and let's not even talk about this giant hole in here, and that's just disgusting. So instead, we're trying to make it so that instead of doing that, by using multiple layers of terrain and blocks, we can simply just place the block in here, and it will disregard that there's terrain here. Or maybe, if we have a special block, it'll actually interact with the terrain there. Maybe, if we have, like, lava terrain, and we put, like, a geothermal vent block on it, it'll create electricity, or some good thing that will be done in the future. I don't know. The point is, we need a better system than the one that was there before. And then I said, well, how are we going to deal with fluids? Because with marching cubes, if I create terrain, and then I create fluids, it's going to create this really weird, and if you played the old versions before I'm doing this, it does this. Because technically, the geometry is correct. But you'll notice the water is not touching the ground like it's supposed to. And because this is technically half dirt, 1/3 dirt, quarter dirt, then it's nothing. So you could place a full thing of water here and you could have it go like this. But this gap here needs to be dealt with. So in order to do that, water needs to be on its own layer as well, and we have to make all the layers interact in a way that looks good, feels good, and is generally comprehensible to the average person who plays video games. You don't want it to be a system so complicated that only I can build a house. But once all of that is done, you'd be able to have a very nice liquid layer and a ocean connecting up right against the land, and then you'd be able to build your house, and your house would be able to have blocks that are like somewhat in the foundation, and like you could have your, yeah, it's a work in progress, you know, but does everyone understand my beautiful sketching? That's the plan. That's the plan. So, thank you, Bernardo1Game YouTube, for the super chat. You will be commemorated in the super chatter corner. 1 second, let me add you. I'm gonna be on top of things this time. Okay, so we need to redo the super chat thing. We need to clear the super chats. Clear them out. And there we are. There's our first one. And now let's actually start doing something with our lives. Woo! Yes. Okay, so, the first things first, we need to make sure that everything is working properly. These block things are correct, technically. That's alright. Now I'm gonna get about 800 errors. I'm gonna get about 800 errors that I need to work on. So let's see the 800 errors it sends me. So we had 14 before, and now it's gonna be like 30, 40. Nope, it wants me to fix these before it complains about the other ones. So this is going to be changed to, actually, I can do this rather quickly. This is why modern IDEs are just beautiful, because I can do this. I can do this, and then I can put this in, and I can change it to what it should be. So we're now getting a terrain, and we're getting get block. Nope, it's get terrain now. And now if I do entire solution, I just really need to make sure that I've got that right before I mess everything up. Get terrain, terrain. Yep, that's it. So now we're going to change everything. And it's going to freak out because these are not terrain I am returning. Okay, so instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to terrain, and we're going to scroll up, and we're going to give it a beautiful, beautiful optional constructor. Okay, so now that we have an optional constructor in there, all we have to do... Is it gonna complain if I don't give everything else constructors now? That'd be really annoying. I don't think it will. Okay. One thing at a time. So now that we can give this a weight, we need to go back to our terrain types. And we need to give them all a value. Errors, obviously. Actually, all these are going to be 1 by default. I just gave all of you constructors, so what are you doing? I don't want to hear it. There's a constructor here. Shut up, Visual Studio. You don't know what I want to do with my life. Okay, so these have to be fixed, though. And it's pretty easy to do. Do. Okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to switch this to terrain types. Dot block. It's just going to be terrain sand. And then using my totally amazing copy and paste skills, we can knock these down. Knock them down real fast. Oh, 85 errors. Man, we are getting really, really good at doing this. So I'm gonna complain about those. Oh, that's what I thought it was gonna do. That's really painful. Public terrain grass. Base. Can I just make it? That is not an option, so we're gonna have to do that and then that. Oh, C#, why can't you just give me an... Can you just assume that if there's no constructor there, that to just copy it? That's just inconvenient, man. It's inconvenient. So now we just have to fix a whole lot of terrain by doing this and renaming the constructor, because they're looking for a constructor because their parent has a constructor and they need to be like their parent. And I get that, but it's kind of dumb how it works. This is one of the only things I'll prefer Java for. Oh, well, not really. The supers are pretty much similar to this. Terrain snow and then terrain stone. Ah! There's me making mistakes now. This is what happens. This is how it starts. The first mistake, and now I'm accidentally going to delete the entire game. Yep. There we go. Entire game accidentally deleted. Boop. Okay. So now we're just going to go here and finish. There's all the constructors done. Congratulations, me. You have made a ton of constructors, and now this is technically working. Ah, very nice. Let's close down everything we've already changed. Now every single biome is going to yell at me. And the funny part is, you know what the funny part is? It's that we just started. We aren't even like... I don't even know if it's worth working on the biomes when I'm just gonna change how the biomes work in 5 minutes anyways. Let's go through a run through of what the plan is. So for those of you who don't come to the Discord and who haven't actually heard me talking about this game much, the plan is that it's not just going to be a Minecraft clone. The plan is it's actually going to be a complete galaxy simulator, and I've done quite a bit of work with things like it in the past, and I finally think that I'm adept enough at the whole coding to get this working. So the plan is to have a planet, and yes, I'm doing it in watercolor because it makes me look slightly less atrocious at art for some reason. So the plan is to have a planet instead of a flat ground, and this creates a lot of things that need to be changed. First off, the entirety of generation. This makes things slightly more complicated because now we have to use another formula, which is going to be your simple distance formula that most people should know. We just have to use the Pythagorean theorem. It's not too complicated, but it does pose a performance risk. Oh, that's actually, nope, it's gonna go this way, and then this way. And then using this, you can go around in a circle, and you can calculate the entirety of the planet, where the edge is. Easy peasy. But then we have to get into layer generation, ore generation, and we need to get into how the biomes are formed. We need to get into landmarks, craters, volcanoes, island generation, and then we need to get into how solar systems are formed, because there's not just going to be one planet, there's going to be upwards of 30,000 of them per server. So lots and lots of work is what I'm hearing, and is probably slightly different from what you're hearing. You're probably hearing blah blah, No Man's Sky, blah blah, this is never going to come out, blah blah. And I don't blame you, because it is way more work than I'd like to do. However, it's going to be beautiful once it's done, so it's totally worth it. And this is where I start regretting things. Boop. Hey, look. We gotta do the same thing again. So, terrain types dot terrain sand. You know what? There's probably an easier way to do this. And I found an easier way to do this. Watch this. Y'all will be proud of me. We're gonna get this and we're gonna replace it with this in every single class. This shouldn't cause any problems, and in the case it does, then something was horribly wrong anyways. Here we go. Boop. Done. That does a lot of work for us. Okay, so that's one through, and that should get rid of, like, most of the errors. Down to 44, so not most. Just, like, a few. Okay, very nice. So, yeah, there are some things that it did not help us out with. That's fine. That is completely fine. Just easy changes because the entire code base is changing. I really need to get a GitHub up or something so that I can do this a little bit more organized and you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Although, still worried about stolen code, so we'll see what I do in the future. I have no clue. There we go, another class down. Mwahaha, now we're down to 39 errors. Yes, code is mostly just moving things around after you make a big change to try to get things back to where you were in the first place. So this is going to require rewriting much of the inner game engine, except I don't care because it had to be rewritten anyway. I did a lot of things that weren't really efficient. I'll admit it, there were bad design choices in parts of this voxel engine. However, there are good decisions that were made in it too. And there's just really hacky things that I did to work that I don't want to ever look at again because I feel like if I look at them funny, they'll stop working. One at a time, we go through the code, changing the references to be correct. There is a whole... This was the most annoying thing ever to program. Every single biome, and I never even finished. I wanted to make the transitions between biomes more, like, smooth. But then I realized I'm doing all this code to program biomes, and they're probably going to be completely changed anyway, so what's the point of that? I don't know why the time controller is open. That's interesting. One at a time, we clean out the code, putting working code in, and taking non-working code out. Do. Yeah, that doesn't even have issues. That does have issues. Why does time controller... Is it just because I put a light here that isn't used? Is that it? Is that the whole reason you're yelling at me? Or is there something down... So, why is light green in the first place? Ah, it hides it. Wow. Okay. What if we just put an underscore in front of it? Now I won't complain, huh? Because now you are not hiding Unity's light. Got it, man. There we go. There you are. Now you're gonna shut up. Even though there wasn't a problem there in the first place. Well, not an actual problem. Just a slight inconsistency. We have a few more things to change out, but then we get to the good stuff. The good stuff that'll make me pull out my hair when things aren't working, when they should be working, and I have to trace down a ton of bugs, and this is just the fun. Oh, we gotta change everything. Look at the amount of errors go down with almost no effort. This is never used. I can see why it would complain about that. That is actually a little bit useless. Here as well. Just go through and fix all the things it wants me to fix. I'm actually okay with that because that'll make the code marginally faster. These suggestions are actually good suggestions. Yep, I do actually never use that. I never actually use that either. That is correct. Yeah, I don't really want to change that. I'll do chunk underscore render. I don't even think we ever refer to the renderers. We do somewhere. It's gotta be in the mesh data. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to do that right now. Just hold off for a second, Unity. Hold off there. I don't know why you're asking for a re-import. I mean, I did change a ton of stuff, but that worries me. Okay, so now this should be get terrain. And then it should be if terrain. Oh, great. You see, that's something we don't have to worry about at the moment. This is something that does have to be worried about. because I'm changing the entire fluid system, there should be nothing relating to water here for a little bit. If terrain, that's... if it's not... Because if it's not air, if it is air, it's not a solid chunk. Got it. Okay, beautiful. We did a thing. Okay, now if the terrain at the index is terrain types blah. Where is this at? Is this just after that? Oh, I have to do that, don't I? Okay. Okay, fine. That can probably be optimized in the future, but I'm too... This is all being replaced anyways, so... There we go, that looks good. That's a whole lot of things changed just for one little thing. Now when I say little thing, it's quite a big change. However, it's an annoying fact that everything needs to be swapped out like this. Oh boy, okay. This is no longer a thing. This is no longer a thing. This should be... This all needs to be redone. All of this. We can do a really temporary solution, or we can actually do it properly. I think we're gonna do this properly, so it's going to be player, place, block, script. Ugh. I don't like this. Player, place, block. And that's gonna be renamed to place script. Because we have more than blocks now. And this one's going to be renamed to break script. And inside of them, they're gonna have minor changes as well. Okay, so this is kind of going all over the place now. It's not even compiling. Let's go. Let's go. The no compile. Because player is now angry because we changed the names of things. There is... So we're just gonna flip these. Because they exist, however, it's not going to admit that they exist. What does it say? Did I make a horrible mistake? I think I made a horrible mistake because I didn't name those in the same order. There was some weirdness going on there. Break script, play script. No, that should be fine. You're lying to me. That exists. We're just gonna restart everything to get all of our references back. How are you guys? You doing good? I have no clue what's going on in chat, but I'm kind of confused. Okay, so welcome back. We're back in our code. And let's see what errors we've got. Actual errors. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Hey look, place script. Oh, I know why it's a problem. Okay. Okay, I know why this is a problem. It's in here. Bam, boom. Bamboozled. There we are. We're just gonna switch these. That's just gonna be break Koro in this. We're actually gonna rename this because I like that right there. Bam! Look at that. So now that we're gonna close that and that now knows what they are, the player now. So the one problem we're going to continually run into is that everything assumes that blocks and terrain are the same thing, so we're gonna have to differentiate between them. Especially when it comes to breaking and placing things. Oh, and now we have to rename everything. Oh, this is so annoying. This is why you write out what you want to do beforehand so that you don't have to change it all at one point. So we're just gonna get rid of that, we're gonna get rid of that. Now we have breaker and placer. We're gonna go down here because right click and left click are going to be incorrect now. Beautiful. Okay, so now that that's all fixed, it looks like item has the next problem because item is where the block breaker. Where's placer? Okay. Never mind. We're just going to go here. We're going to change that. We're going to change that. And we're going to change that. And that. Boop. Good job. One at a time. Let's go. Oh man. There's so much that has to be changed. I trust my code to not completely collapse if I change a few things around, but oh, this was so hacked. This right here is the hackiest solution of anything. Of all time. This only works because I pray that it continues to work. I really need to redo that at some point. Really gonna have to change that at some point. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Okay. And break block Koro doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, no it doesn't. That is very true. Okay, you happy now? Okay, so this is no longer a thing. Shoot. Ah, no. We've got an issue. Yeah, that's an issue. There's a few ways we could re-engineer this, but I think that it's going to have to actually be undone, some of the stuff I just did. Possibly. No. No, it's not. And let me tell you why. Because we don't need to get the block here, that is not true. Our item stacks? Oh shoot, this gets so much more complicated now. How do item stacks work? Are item stacks with the blocks or with items? And do we have item terrains? No, we don't. Oh man. That's a lot of work we gotta do. Oh boy. Okay. One thing at a time. First things first, place scripts should not depend on having something passed to it like this. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to say item stack equals player dot hotbar dot selected slot dot get stack. Aha, so now we steal the stack. Now we can do things. Now we can do some magic. Because now we can have it either see if item equals items stack dot item type if item type if item is item block okay item block item block equals item block item dot get. There's gotta be a get block, right? This gets so much more complicated. Oh no, there's so many things I assumed would work together that really don't work together anymore. Well, I've got to redesign this. I guess that's all for now, considering the numbers dropping and people watching. This is extremely boring, and I kind of just need to do a lot of stuff out on paper now. But I'll see you all again, probably in a bit, with more Project Vooperia. I'm getting there. Some work being done. Bye.